In a little while, you'll be seeing I'm suing the BBC for putting words in my mouth. Literally, they put words in my mouth. They had me saying things that I never said coming out. I guess they used AI or something.
So that's not true. That's a lie. They did not do anything other than edit together 2 pieces of his speech. There was no AI. What the BBC did was edit those things together in service of a piece saying Donald Trump incited violence on that day. And he did. Donald Trump was attempting a coup. If it was in the cold analysis of foreign reporting on something that's happening in another country, you would absolutely accept that it was a coup. If you learned that for months, the president of Chile was telling his supporters that he had not lost the election, that the election was stolen from him, then you heard that the president of Chile was encouraging his supporters to be there on the same day as the certification of the vote. And then he said, I want you to go down to the Capitol and fight, because if you don't fight like hell, you're not going to have a country anymore. And if you learned that groups that were supported and funded by right-wing billionaires coordinated to send 80 buses to that place, and you learned that the Supreme Court Justice of Chile's wife, who is a political operative, was part of this as well, and you also knew that there were lawyers who were loyal to that president of Chile who had for weeks and months been figuring out how they could illegally and unconstitutionally install different slates of electors to like replace the way that the election normally goes. Would you call that a coup or not? And then if you learned that that same president, once his capital was being ransacked by maniacs, said, we love you, and took way too long to tell them to leave, you would think that that was a coup attempt, because that's what it was. So let's keep showing our MAGA friends and loved ones facts that they don't see in their media diet, because information becomes our outcome. Fascism only exists where propaganda is strong and journalism is weak. And so that is why Donald Trump, Richard Nixon, has talked about how the press is the enemy. It is because they do not want fraud, waste, abuse, and corruption that they do to be communicated to the public, especially their base. So they condition the MAGA base to reject objective political facts that are reported by credible outlets by telling them that they are the enemy of the people, that they are against them, that only I can fix it. And so we say to ourselves, how is it possible that Donald Trump is still supported by MAGA? It is because there is a purpose-built MAGA indoctrination and Trump protection racket media ecosystem that has existed since 1996, if not before.